Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to the Craft Cave. It's been a long time since I've seen you. I'm so glad you're here with me today. I have a very messy workspace here. A little dusty because I haven't been in here for so long. I'm going to try and show you today something a little different. I've been working on this super big project. It's a quilt. It will be a quilt. And it's called the Little Houses Quilt. Isn't it cute? I have 3 blocks made. I want to make a 4th one. This is what I consider a block. I have, well actually a block is just this. And then I put 5 across and 2, 4, 5 down. 2, 4, yeah, 5 across, 5 down, and sewn them into rows to make this one big block, 5 houses by 5. And I have 2 more panels just like this, and I need to make a 4th one, and then when I put them together it will be a block, or a quilt, I mean. At first I thought I was going to just make the 3 panels and put them up on my wall, kind of like art, but I changed my mind. I think I'm gonna go for it and make this a full quilt, just because my walls are getting so crowded in here. I got stuff hanging everywhere, and I don't need more stuff hanging on my walls. So I don't need another quilt either, but I do want to finish this project. I've used a lot of my scraps, which is good. So I'm going to show you how I made one of these houses. Okay, so I'm going to be shifting my camera over to my sewing machine and my cutting board and my iron, and we'll be moving around lots today in the Craft Cave. So stick with me and watch how I do it. So here are the measurements for the Little House Quilt, just for the individual blocks. So you need 2 sides, which are 2 inches by 3 inches, and I have cut those out already. There's our sides. And you need a door, which is 1.5 inches by 3 inches. So that'll be that piece. And the top of the house is 1.5 by 4.5. That's that one. And the roof is 2.5 by 4.5 inches, and then 2 corners, which are just 2.5-inch squares. So I haven't cut the roof out yet, so let's do that. 2.5 by 4.5. So I will just quick measure here. 2.5. Sorry for the glare off my ruler. Let's see if I shut my light off. Oh, doesn't really matter. I still have a glare from my upper light. So there's my 2.5, and now I need 4.5. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4.5 is right there. Looks good. Okay. Now we're going to take it over to the sewing machine and put our block together. Here we are at my sewing machine. I have a Brother sewing machine, which I love. I'm going to take my roof 2.5 square, and I'm just going to draw a line from corner to corner with a pencil, a light mark. The lighting over here is terrible, but I'm going to try and do it. Let's see, I got to do it down here. Let's see if I can show you. Oops, sorry. This is a totally new setup for me here, trying to do it this way. So I'm just going to go corner to corner, a little pencil line, just to give me a little mark so I know where to sew. I'm going to do that on both of them. hope you can see what I'm doing. Just a little pencil line, okay? And then I'm going to take my roof piece, bring you back up to the sewing machine here. Take my roof piece, right side up, take my one lined square, and I'm going to put it on so that it goes like that. It's going to make a roof shape. And then I'm going to just sew right down this line. Okay? Let's just get it kind of straightened out here. It's a little bit crooked. I'm going to sew right down that line. I just have a gray thread. It doesn't matter what color thread I'm using. Just gonna follow my pencil mark right down into the corner. There we go. Now, when I open this and when I iron it, it's gonna make that one side of my roof peak. But before we do that, I need to cut off this extra bulk here. So I'm just gonna grab a scissor. You could use a rotary cutter. I'm just gonna cut off about 1/4 of an inch. I've been saving these triangles and sewing those together as well. Now you can just finger press it open, or you could actually go to your iron and open it. But then we're going to take our second block and place it right on top of the other side. Just getting it all squared up. And now we're going to sew across that line. And that's going to make the second part of our roof. So we'll just do that. Follow our pencil mark. Here we go. Whoa, I went way off the pencil mark. Okay, we'll have a little wonky roof. Oh, not bad, just a little bit off. I could actually just re-sew that little spot that I missed. I kind of went off my pencil mark there. Give it another try here. There, that's much better. Okay, now I will just snip that off. Whew, lots of threads. Okay, so then again, I'm just going to open up my roof, and for some reason I got a wonky there. And then when you peel this one back, there's your roof. Okay, so I'm just going to trim this one, trim off the excess bulk. And then there's my roof. Okay, so there's our roof done. Now we need to sew together our sides with our door. So I'm going to take one side, take my door, and I'm just going to lay it right sides together, and I'm just going to zip right down the side of it. Okay, right down this side, and I'm using 1/4 of an inch seam allowance on my machine. I have a 1/4 inch seam foot here, which is handy. So we'll just zoom down that side. Now, if you were making a bunch of houses, it would be most efficient to sew like all your sides at once, and then you wouldn't have to waste as much thread. So there's one side, and we'll take our second side, put it on top of there. Make sure all my edges are lining up, and I'm just going to zip down that side. that up. And you can finger press this open as well. Now, once you've got that sewn down, this should fit right across the top, and that's the top of your roof piece. So that one we're just going to lay on top, and we're going to sew it right down the edge of the top of the house. I am going to iron this though, just because I like my seams pressed really nice. I'll be right back. Just over here to my hissing iron. For some reason it's leaking. I might have overfilled it with water, and I don't like that. It's making a mess on my fabric. But for today, we'll live with it. Okay, so there's my pressed house. Just gonna put down my little edge. I hope you can see what I'm doing. It's tricky getting everything on the camera here. Just gonna zip on down that side. There's that, done. Oh, I think my bobbin's out of thread. Once that's open, we just need to attach our roof. So I'm gonna just refill my bobbin and I'll be right back. Okay, my bobbin's full. I've just placed my roof right sides together with the top of the house. I'm just gonna stitch these together. Get it going, and then I can line it up a bit better. It's a really easy block to make. And I've enjoyed making all these houses out of all my scraps. They're just so happy and cheerful and colorful. And it's used up a lot of my scraps, which is great. So there's our little house block. And then once I get a row of 5 put together, or I make 5 houses, I put a row together. And yeah, it came together really fast. The only thing is I started this quilt during COVID. So I'm finally getting back to it. It's like, you gotta get this project done, girl. Okay, so we're gonna go iron this and I'll be right back. So here's our little block put together. And as you can see, it does look a little wonky. It's because I've used really chintzy fabric up here. But that doesn't matter. It's a scrappy quilt. I'm just gonna take a ruler. Where'd my ruler go? And I wanna just maybe clean up my edge a little because it's a little bit off. So I'm just gonna line up my bottom. And I'm just gonna clean that up a little bit. Oh, it didn't quite cut through. Hang on. And when you do this, if you're like me, you want to try and make sure you have a 1/4 inch right here on your edge, because that is what's going to be your seam allowance when you put it together with your other blocks. There, that looks a lot better. Maybe we should do this side too. So I'm just gonna line up my edges, try and make sure I have a 1/4 inch there. It's very close. I'm just gonna cut off that little tip on the side. There, that's better. Get rid of all the little excess threads. So that's one little house done. And like I said, you put them in a row, and next thing you know, you have a row put together, and then the next thing you know, you have 2 rows put together, 3, 4, 5, bada bing, bada boom. You got a quilt. So there's our little houses quilt. Once I have it all put together, I will show you. I can't guarantee when that'll be, because let's see, it took me probably to make this this block of 5x5 houses took me a full day of doing nothing else but that. But I do think they're adorable. I think this is going to be the most precious little wall quilt. Could be a wall hanging. It could be a throw. I mean, you can make it as big as you want. You can just go forever because scraps never end. And then I was looking at some of my material, and I do have like material that has little flowers and stuff, and I thought, oh, wouldn't it be cute to cut out some little flowers, and I could, you know, you could really jazz this up. It would be so cute. You could even put in between each block, you could put a tree block. This would make a lovely housewarming gift, don't you think? Anyways, once I have it all put together, I will definitely share that finished project with you so you can see how it looks. And I just want to say thanks for joining me today. I've missed you so much. I've been away babysitting my grandkids, and yeah, it's good to be home again and back in the quilt cave with you. So thanks for watching, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.